Hey everyone. So I've been wanting to make this video for a little while now, but I've definitely had some resistance to making it for whatever reason, or a number of reasons. But yeah, it's just a video about like my first experience of divine truth, and yeah, basically how, yeah, what happened. So yeah, I was basically just at my parents' place, and they had a DVD on that one of my mum's friends, Cardi, thanks Cardi, had given to my parents just to watch. And yeah, I was basically just in the kitchen making some food, and I just overheard what they were watching, and I was just like, oh yeah, sounds a bit weird. And then I heard the guy say the word God, and I was just like, straight away. Actually, I remember straight away, I was just like, what the fuck are you guys watching? Turn that shit off. Like, yeah, just this real, like, aversion to the word God, anything to do with God and religion. I was just like, fucking get that shit away from me. Yeah, and then, yeah, and then they sort of just kept watching it, and then I was just eating my food. I went over and sat down and just listening, not really absorbing, but just going, oh yeah, yeah. And then yeah, he was just saying some stuff. It was a talk about fear, like, and that fear is your friend, and how, yeah, facing your fears will lead you to truth, and yeah, he was just talking in a way that about things that I hadn't really thought about before, and yeah, particularly about emotions. And so it just sort of twigged something. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty fucking good. So I just sort of kept listening, and then yeah, I think she must have given my parents a few DVDs or something, because there was another couple that, like, the law of attraction. So they're basically just seminars that this guy AJ puts up and gives away. And I was just, so yeah, so in the first one he was like talking about, he said something along the lines of, a lot of people don't believe what I'm saying because of who I'm saying I am, or whatever, something along those lines. And I was like, who is he saying he is? Like, oh, don't tell me. Like, straight away I was like, he's gonna fucking say he's Jesus or something, isn't he? And I can't remember I don't think he actually said it in that video, but I asked my parents, and that's like, yeah, that's what he's saying. He's claiming to be Jesus. And I'm like, oh yeah, good on ya. And so, but I was intrigued by what he was talking about, and so yeah, I listened to a few more of the talks, and I was just like, yeah, like the law of attraction, about a lot of it was to do with, yeah, we're not attracting things from our mind, it's from our soul, from our feelings. And well, I was along the concept of, like, I'd watched The Secret and a few other things like to do with that, and I was really just set that it's all in our mind, and we create with our mind. So this was a concept that I hadn't really put much. Yeah, so he was really, like, bringing forth a concept that I hadn't really considered, that we're actually, like, emotional beings. And like, most of our thoughts are actually driven from our emotional state, which was, yeah, like, just a totally brand new concept for me at the time. And yeah, and a few of the things he was talking about, like, actually just feeling some of the feelings that you have that are already there, like, that you've been holding on to. So it was like the first time in my life I felt like, oh my god, I'm allowed to cry about, like, a big one for me at the time was, I hadn't cried about, like, my dad left when I was 5, and I just never really, I don't know, I just left it. I didn't really grieve through that. So it was kind of the first time I'm like, oh, I'm actually allowed to cry about that? What? Oh, okay. And then, yeah, it connected with a whole heap of grief. And which I felt so relieved after. I was just like, like some people might think, you know, oh, you're crying, like that can't be a good thing, you know, like you're feeling pain, but yeah, the feeling afterwards is like, oh my God, I feel a bit free of that now. And a lot of what he's teaching is like, yeah, if we just sort of spend some time feeling these stored up feelings that we've had over our childhood and our lives, that we can actually be free of those feelings, and they won't dictate our future actions anymore. Which I found so powerful. So yeah, and then I kept sort of just listening to a few different seminars along the way. I was avoiding any of the ones that had the word God in the title. That was like a big thing. I was just like, I'll believe some of the other stuff that you're talking about, but that, no, it's not for me. But yeah, so then listening to, like, there's so much material that he's got available, and just through listening to just the logic behind what he was saying, his teachings, I just found really, I haven't seen spirituality presented in such a clear, no bullshit sort of way. And I was like, I just found really, because I was like, I'm just going to keep listening. And then, so I guess, it kind of comes down to 7 years later, do I think he's Jesus? Yes, I do. I do think he's Jesus. Am I crazy? Yeah, I'm a little bit crazy, but not because I'm crazy in the fact that I feed addictions and let addictions and fear rule my life. I'm not crazy because I believe Jesus is saying who he says he is, because I've just seen just a humble man doing his thing, you know, like cultivating in himself that connection with God and loving people. That's all I've seen over the 7 years of investigation and experimenting with what he's teaching, and just observing him as a person, the way he interacts with other people. So yeah, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I am in a cult. Like, I'm still maybe a little bit open to that concept. Maybe I am. Like, if someone can prove to me that I am, I'll be like, okay, sure. But to me, that no one can prove that he's a cult leader, because he doesn't want power over people. He doesn't. Just so many things. He doesn't act like a cult leader. If he was to say, like, okay, everyone, we've got to all drink some Kool-Aid, you know, we've got to poison ourselves, kill ourselves to reach God or heaven or whatever. It would just go against everything that he's taught so far. So if I heard him say something like that, I'd just be like, dude, okay, you're basically just undermining everything you've ever taught. I just can't believe that. So I'm not scared of something like that happening, because I know I can feel his character. He really just gives his time, has so much love for people, and I'm excited for a time when people start to see that. It's I think it'd be awesome, and I think it will happen because he's so congruent. He's so his story doesn't change, you know. And you can ask him if you don't believe something that he's saying. Ask him, and he will. Like, there's hours and hours of people asking him about his identity, asking about everything he's teaching, and it's just all the answers are just so he doesn't change. He doesn't change his story. It's yeah, which makes it more believable. You'd think so. You'd hope if somebody was telling the truth that the story would be believable and actually make sense. You know, that's what he's got going for him. That's the way I look at it, anyway. So, but if all of a sudden he started like not making sense and being a bit culty, I'd just be like, man, no, not for me. See you later. But I don't think that's going to happen, personally. So yeah, yeah, that's a bit of a background story of when I first started getting into it, and yeah. So if you have any questions about my journey so far, or yeah, any of the material that I've sort of been learning about, just put them in the comments below. I'll try and answer them to the best of my ability. And yeah, I'd recommend just checking it out. You know, it's all for free. Like, he doesn't charge anything, so just go divinetruth.com. There's heaps of audios, videos. Just go to the download section. He's got a YouTube channel, Divine Truth channel. So just I definitely recommend just checking it out. Like, keep your guard up at first if you have to. Just be like, yeah, whatever. But just listen and feel the person. You know, he's I guess that's a big thing for me now. It's like, I've seen him in so many interactions with people now that the fears that used to be there of like, maybe he's trying to control people, maybe he's like to me, all those fears are just unfounded. I haven't observed that behavior, so I don't believe that anymore. And if he did, then I'll just be like, hey mate, what the fuck are you doing? So yeah, just check it out, guys. Yeah, thanks, bye.